Can you remember they changed my voice? Okay, so they took down some thing off a pole I put outside that shows why I'll never sell out. Okay, I will never sell out. That doesn't mean you have to do things in a way that's bad for you and your communities, white, black, Jewish, Chinese, whatever, globalist, whatever faith-based groups you're from. Okay, you should know that I'm not going to sell out. Can't stress that enough. That's non-negotiable. Okay, it's more than written in stone. It's written in God's heart that I will never sell out. I'm God's son. I can't stress that enough. I'm 41 years old. I'm not going to be here forever. One of these days, I'm going to keel over and die, as the saying goes. Then what are you going to do? You know, reflect on a life of persecuting me? How's that going to help you and your community and your offspring? You're trying to make me your slave for a theater game? For your egos? For your psychology game? For your pharmakeia, sorcery, witchcraft, Harry Potter, Merlin, Gandalf the Grey, Lord of the Rings game? Frodo Baggins? How's that smart? Take the Jewish people, for example. No offense to them. You know, I just saw a video about how they do business or something. You know, there's some Jewish guy saying how he does business. As you do business with each other, what part of persecuting the most righteous guy ever is good for you? As you give to charity, as you buy a new suit, how does persecuting the most righteous guy suit your spirits and your image and what you project? To the English, Harry and William and all Charles and all them. How does persecute me look in your souls? It looks when you're playing tennis or polo, when you're having sex. How does that evil inside of you that allows you to persecute the most righteous guy ever and actually do it, to be possible for you to do it, and then for you to actually do it? How does it look on you? Who are you impressing with it? Is Gargamel impressive? Lex Luthor, the Red Skull? Two-Face, the Riddler, the Penguin? Mr. Freeze? Neither are you impressive. Magneto, Doctor Doom. It's childish, it's silly. Skeletor from He-Man. Animus means spirit, like in the word animation. Anime. Anime. Taking on Martin Luther King. Looking back at it, she looks silly. Bull Connor looks silly. All those presidents that were racist look silly as hell. No matter how much money they had, what kind of suit they had on. That hatred, that evil, that pettiness, that Freddy Krueger kind of disgusting evil soul that they had as individuals. That looked very silly on them. Very stupid. What is the point of getting money? Well, people often buy nice things with money. Their image, right? A car, a house, a suit, a purse, shoes. How does persecuting the most righteous guy that ever was look? How does it look on you and your offspring? First, clean the inside of the cup and dish. English, Germans, French, Americans, Israelis. First, clean the inside of the cup and dish. And now you can never do that to the fullest. So what do you need to do? You need to make a committee so we can discuss these things and stop running your stupid hazing game. It's not working for you. 189,000 people die every day. That's like 8,000 every hour. How many of them are related to you? How many of them are from your races and your religions and your groups? How does being part of the formation, the collection, the collective spirit, the collective mind state, the collective way about them, the essence, the life force, their energies, how does it suit them when you're persecuting the most righteous guy there ever was? It is the pinnacle of folly that is that spirit. It is the pinnacle of stupidity. It is the essence of immaturity and being a sissy. So why do you persist? By 2025 or so, I should be dead at this rate. Then what are you going to do? Click your heels like Peter Pan? Act like George Jetson when he's overjoyed? Barney Rubble? Fred Flintstone? You have no viable plan. But I do. The greatest life ever lived. Why should they live in the dumbest lives ever lived? Rule over he who lived the greatest life ever lived when God Almighty is 100% against it. Why should that occur? It's non-negotiable. I will never submit to you terrorists, to you organized rapists, to you gang stalkers who sink to the level of pretending that psychological operations aren't being run here in America. Pretending that anyone who thinks that the government is out to get him is schizophrenic. How insane is that? Imagine if the Nazis had did it to the Jews in World War II, or the Russians to the Germans at the end of World War II. If you think that the government has something against you and is watching you, you must be crazy. If it causes you to panic now and then, even if it's an unreasonable panic, you must be crazy. Not that I'm panicking, mind you. But recently in the news, there was a story of a woman who ran through the woods or something with her kids or walked through the woods and they died of hypothermia. Why? Because you live in a state where it's logical, in a country where it's logical, to assume that the government is out to get you because they're sick fucks. You see every worm-ass coward in the comments going, oh, she's paranoid, schizophrenic, oh, looking like a complete idiot. They're taking that moment with them to the grave. As they say, covered in maggots and worms. After living a life of playing stupid for mass murdering megalomaniac lunatics. Fucking retarded. And they're in the spirit of the pinnacle of folly. To someone with a PhD, how does the spirit of persecuting the most righteous person ever look on that person? To an analyst. How does the spirit of persecuting the most righteous person ever look on these motherfuckers? To anyone who's a people person. To people with emotional intelligence. To people who read people. To a hustler. To an astute businessman, if such a thing is possible. To a doctor. How does the spirit of being so bitch that you can't refrain from persecuting the top martial artist ever look on you? How does the company of sinners, their company is barren, is what it says in Job. It says, don't yoke yourself to sinners. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. So again, I ask you, I tell you the truth. How does persecuting me look on you and your children in your very essence, in the part of you that sticks out the most obvious parts of you? Your guilt, your denial, your pitifulness, your lack of natural masculinity. You can never truly recover it because of what you've done. You're past the point of no return, but you can at least try to mitigate the consequences by forming a committee and opening up a line of communication with me and realizing you need to compensate me and leave me the fuck alone.